Welcome back to the Graham Stephan Show. My name is Graham and welcome to my show. And today we got to talk about Shelby Church. Now, you may have seen her before on the channel. We had her on the podcast twice, and she's got a new real estate project. She posted a video, it's titled, "I bought a new property, revealing my next real estate project, !" So, of course, I have to give my own take on it as a real estate agent, a real estate investor, and someone who's deeply involved in what Shelby Church is doing. So anyway, guys, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, because we're catching up to CNBC Make It. We gotta beat them to 1 million subscribers. And with that said, let's begin.
I have an Airbnb in Palm Springs, California called the Racquet Club Resort. Having this project totally done now, I've been itching to do another one, especially seeing what kind of returns you can get.
We've yet to stay there. We gotta book it. We gotta book it and just take like a weekend vacation, and then we could review it. Think of the content. That would make incredible content. So guys, if you wanna see that, just hit the like button, and the more likes the video gets, the more likely I'll be able to do that.
Now this property is extremely different, so I'll just give you a tour of it. I'm building a house in Joshua Tree.
I was actually not expecting that. Building a house, that's gonna take a while. Joshua Tree. Joshua Tree could be like the next big, hip destination to go to. I feel like Shelby would have a good, pulse on things, where all the millennials are going these days. It's been a long time since I've been there. I mean, it's really like a hiking spot. There's nothing much else to do besides just hike. But you know what? The millennials are going there. So let's see.
So I bought a piece of land in Joshua Tree, California, and I didn't buy this piece of land myself. I actually bought it with Rob Built. We're collaborating on this build. He has 2 Airbnbs he's built out in Joshua Tree.
All right, so I'm just curious who goes to Joshua Tree. Like, I'm honestly, I'm not trying to put it down. Who goes there? Now, I've seen the other guy's channel before. It's not bad. I mean, I know it's a legitimate business. Who's going there though? At least with Palm Springs, it's like an established community. Maybe I'm really out of the loop on this one. I probably am. She probably knows what she's doing. He knows what he's doing. I'm the idiot here. So let's see.
Shopping for land is a little more daunting than house hunting because you're really more on your own with this. You can find plots of land on Redfin or Zillow. We set our budget under $100,000.
Yeah, and they're cheap too. I mean, you could buy acres and acres of land for like next to nothing because of how much it costs to develop a parcel like this. Even though you might spend, 30 grand to buy like 5 acres of land, where are you gonna get utilities? Where are you gonna get any sort of like running water? Like, how does that come up? So you gotta be pretty strategic on how you do this, and it can be expensive.
First piece of land, I'll show you guys. It had such a cool view. It had an amazing view. However, it was on a dirt road. You had to drive pretty far on a dirt road to get to it. I actually didn't even go all the way because I felt like my car was gonna get stuck.
I was going to that. Again, it's like, why would someone want to visit this? Oh, great, I'm gonna be in an Airbnb in the middle of nowhere. I could just be in my living room instead and just VR it. That's what Mark Zuckerberg wants. He wants us all to put on the headset and we could be in the middle of nowhere too. I guess it's just for people who want to camp and maybe just live off the grid and just like get away from the hustle of city life for a while. But then why just stay home?
Now on to property number 2. This property was actually in Yucca Valley, which is a neighboring town to Joshua Tree. This one was listed just under $50,000, so it's the cheapest of the 3. It's pretty close to the national park.
The national park. So they're getting people who want to go to the national park and they're providing them with a good Airbnb. That makes sense. Have I been? Probably been once before when I was a kid. I don't really remember. But okay, no, I get it.
So property number 3 is the most expensive, listed at $95,000. It's a good location right on a paved road, but the road wasn't busy, so it's really easy to get to. The view wasn't as cool as the first one though, which was definitely a bummer. But it did still have some mountain view, which was pretty nice. This one was the most expensive though, but for good reason. It had utilities on the property.
That's nice. And I feel like the view is a good selling point, and the fact that it's easily accessible. But maybe people who want to go camping don't want to be accessible. They don't want to be found. They want to be way off up the dirt road without anybody nearby.
And a lot of the plots of land out here are 5 acres or 2.5 acres. However, we don't plan to build on all of that. So what I liked about this piece of land is you do get kind of a view. When you look out this way, you can see these mountains, which is just...
I agree. You know what? Those telephone poles really just ruin the view. That's the one thing. I know it's so expensive to put those underground. It wouldn't make sense here, but you know what? Man, it's like when you're looking out at the beautiful mountain and just have a good old telephone pole right in front of you.
There's a lot of just like natural plants and things like that that look kind of cool. So we will have to move some of these when we build, but we can leave a lot of them in the surrounding area, and it's not just like a plain piece of sand. That would be pretty boring. It's got like some stuff going on, and some of them are pretty cool. Like look at this one. This cactus thing, super cool looking. So over here, I believe this is a yucca plant, which is kind of cool that we've got this.
Yeah, I had this growing on one of my properties, and they are a pain. Their roots go down so far that we had to dig up like 5 feet to get rid of these things, and then they came back. I swear, these things are indestructible. You don't want those growing on the property.
Another thing I really liked about this piece of land is that there are other Airbnbs nearby, and I checked them out on AirDNA and they seem to do pretty well.
That's a good test to make sure that other people are making money, and that's gonna help you too.
I hear something moving. Probably a lizard. What the f? Do you see that? Do you see that wolf? Coyote? Okay, I was not expecting to see this during the day, and this is why many of the Airbnbs have fences.
Oh yeah, it's a little coyote. I don't think they have wolves down there. Those coyotes, they probably just want food at that point. I don't know how aggressive they are. You know, they're probably pretty friendly because you know someone's feeding them.
So that's a look at the piece of land. I think it's gonna be a great canvas to work with. And now let's talk about the next steps. So we closed on the property already, had a soil test done, and are now figuring out the plans so that we can get permits. We've landed on a style.
That's really nice. I feel like, I hate to say it, I feel like it's like too nice for the air. Like, is this the nicest house that's there? This looks like a property you would see in Venice Beach or something like that for like $6 million. Now, I don't know what the build cost is gonna be on this. I'm sure they have, you know, a way to do this affordably. Looks nice.
I've had a lot of people ask why build in Joshua Tree in general. And really it's because Joshua Tree is a really popular vacation destination in Southern California. A ton of people go here. There's a national park that last year got 3 million visitors.
Ah, there we go. She's answering the questions for me. Maybe that would have been nicer to put in the beginning, but you know what? Kept me on the edge of my seat, just waiting.
So many people in places like LA live in an apartment, and to be able to rent an entire house for the weekend for a price that's a lot less expensive than Palm Springs is really appealing to people that are stuck in apartments all the time.
Oh, if they did a shipping container home like that, that would be cool. What I would love is if she expanded on this with a whole bunch of those shipping containers. Like just get 20 of them and just line them all up, create a cool little community. I would love that.
You are allowed to rent the house out as much as you want out here. So a lot of cities like Palm Springs, for example, limit the amount of rental contracts you can do, but in Joshua Tree, you can rent your house out every night of the year if you want.
Now you can. Just wait until they realize that so many people are making money and they're gonna be like, nope, we want a cut of that. So either you gotta pay us a high, you know, hotel occupancy tax. They'll find some way to get their little hands in that. I hope not, though.
So that is my new real estate project. It's gonna take a couple years to fully finish, but I will be documenting it along the way. So of course, be sure to subscribe if you aren't.
Great video, and I'm looking forward to seeing the updates on this. I'm sure it's gonna do incredibly well, and I'm invested in this, so I wanna see what happens. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.